Hang on.
I did. Well, yeah, I have to wait for.
Hey, after the events of yesterday, we all need a shot. Okay.
I just don't have my stuff.
That was a
with me.
blast. I had such fun with you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Even though in character, I'm like, no, please make it stop.
Yeah.
Out of character, I'm like, keep it going. Bring on the pain.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, my character was like, oh, the problem is trying to leave. I know how to stop this. Bang.
Oh God.
When you did that, I was just like, and I know that like D-Written and I are sitting there like, oh, we're right next to the SIHQ.
Who Morgan is totally not trying to frame for this. They're like, oh, the Inquisition did this. They're the terrorists.
Was the Inquisition.
How about we not, you crazy Dutch bastard?
Maybe
Hey.
maybe the real terrorism were the friends we made along the way. Actually, yes, that is what happened here. Actually, yes.
You guys chose violence in the worst way, in the worst area possible.
I mean, we didn't choose the area, nor did we really choose the violence. They chose abduction. Abduction gets greeted with violence. That's just the rules. I don't make them.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So, question: Would this have been more or less of a mess if a car had exploded on the highway because a squirrel turned to a polar bear inside of it?
More of a mess, because then we would have been closer to the fire, and then we would have had to deal with 2 frenzy rolls, most likely failing. So,
To be fair, I probably wouldn't still have been hungry by that point, though.
because I'm pretty
However,
sure
Upside, fire bear.
there. Junie,
So-
I do actually want to clarify this, Junie. When I make frenzy rolls, I am using that -2 on the pool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm
Wait.
only rolling 3 dice for frenzy.
Wait, what? What?
I flaws, man.
Are you talking about repulsive?
No.
Okay.
Short fused.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. So I'm only.
I mean, that's
rolling
yeah,
3
that's
dice.
that's not a V5 one, but if Junie lets you take that one from V20, yeah, that will do it. That's exactly how that works.
Look, the flaws are just for funsies, all right?
Yeah,
From what I've been told, the flaws are flavor.
I mean they are.
Yeah.
They are,
doing
and like
flavor
I mean
text.
that is an easy flaw to make V5able. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'm like, are you sure you want to do this to yourself?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Sai's just like, yes. Bring on the pain.
yeah. The same person who's asking to let their characters go lower than Humanity 5 would ask something like that, of course.
I keep asking, are you sure? Making sure that the character or the player understands. And Sai's always like, I mean, how many times do I have to say yes for you to understand this?
Like that TikTok. Look, here comes a consequence.
And in my mind, it's, oh no,
no.
I'm just waiting for Sai to do the TikTok version of, put your pants on in some kind of weird ass thing for a vampire. Like, put your obfuscate on. No! Come on! Obfuscate! No!
Yeah.
Come on!
Child walks in here without his pants.
I
Dude,
did
go
think
put your clothes
about I did think about doing that with like a Samisi, where it's like what do you have? A knife? No.
Yeah.
This is running around the pool.
Right.
Like, what have you got there? A knife. No.
Yeah, that's a whole ass thing too. I keep wondering when you guys are gonna do that to me.
Yeah.
I mean, just turn it out. You just needed a cowboy toreador.
Right.
Decent dame.
I mean, who knew? That was exactly what I planned for.
I mean, I just don't understand how you didn't expect me to try to take that shot.
Because she didn't expect anything after we started.
So hear me out. The only other thought that I had was if either Morgan or Tommy threw somebody else at the plane, tried to throw them on the plane. That was the only other thought that crossed my mind in that moment.
And here Morgan was just going to use his ridiculous charisma. No. God, no. You never do the same gag twice.
Okay, surface to air missile.
Okay, I mean,
That
you
was a backup
do.
plan.
It's like, I mean, you do, but you wait until the next season so it counts as a callback.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm doing nuke usage.
Okay.
Oh God.
This is technically next season.
Yeah.
Why do you give him ideas like this?
Yeah, but you have to wait till like the very end. It's got to be like the very last like episode.
I mean, that is a hell of a Chekhov's nuke. It's not a gun.
I mean,
so
it's a kind of Chekhov's gun. It's a thing, and everybody knows you have it.
what Morgan was actually going to do is try to get into the control tower and get them to order the plane down.
That would have been viable.
Yeah. Counteroffer. I spend 37 cents of metal, and the plane comes down.
Counter offer: you and I throw the Ventru on the plane.
I mean,
Poor Morgan. Nobody likes the dude.
I mean, the Rose.
It sounds like a win.
I mean, the Rose would probably need to learn some potence first, or like get his strength one ass to the gym or something.
Yeah. You know what? Tommy would have been like, "Oh yeah, he totally helped."
I could totally see that one going over really well.
Would have been great.
So, I mean, are we going to formally start this?
Oh, are we all?
We're on.
I mean, we've been on.
Oh,
but
well then.
I just thought
Let's
this
formally start this.
I just thought this would be fun, so you guys could just talk about it. And
Yeah, we just went cold open on these people.
oh hell yeah!
Everybody, welcome to Take a Shot.
Where they are taking shots.
I mean, they better be. I'm taking shots.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's.
Speaking of taking a shot, how relevant is that to yesterday's episode?
I mean, it's pretty damn relevant.
But we'll get there. Where we started, though.
Oh God. Who wants to start that? I'm gonna let Sai do it.
Okay, let's see. We rolled for Rouse. Only one of us was successful.
Yo.
And that's about all I remember. I
Somebody
believe
on the way to Morgan's.
yes, I believe Tanari's character, Madame Sparkles, went and got herself a snacky snack while making her way downtown towards Daily Tower, which I believe Daily was also taking his morning snacky through an arm and a phone.
Morgan's actually tried to reduce the incidence of that because he found out that paradox is a thing, and he doesn't want his food to grow multiple timelines.
Fair. That's probably a good call. So, you just pulled out a nice chilled glass of...
Oh no, I just took the elevator down.
Oh, okay.
If only Morgan knew that the time sphere has its own way of policing the timeline.
Okay, he has no dots in a cult and only one dot in the library, alright?
Yeah.
Give him a break.
And Morgan was also awaiting 2 meetings, one with Gwen and one with... God, I can't remember her name.
Naomi.
Naomi, yes. While that was going on, what was Tommy doing? I don't even remember what Tommy was doing. Tommy went over to see Kyle, had himself a little snacky, a nice little drug snacky, and went to go see Kyle because Tommy wanted to talk to Kyle about some stuff that Kyle had overheard, and Kyle agreed not to divulge such information outside of the people who were in that elevator in exchange for Tommy's help finding one Sir Olaf. And Tommy just happened to have maybe known where Sir Olaf was. So the team of Tommy and Kyle hopped along on Kyle's bike and went down to go find out if that's indeed where Sir Olaf was. And I'm going to let actually Kyle take over this part because he did most of the talking there.
You're muted.
You muted.
Yeah, so we go to meet Sir Olaf, who over the course of the meeting ends up also being flanked by the lady. And Kyle, using like half vague phrasing, gauged whether or not Sir Olaf desired to cease being Sir Olaf and once again become Loden, Prince of Chicago.
This is facts.
And via the lady, Loden said, "Nah."
I'm good, bish.
They said, but that they don't really have much tolerance for this second-rate prince that Chicago's currently got.
AKA his childer.
Yeah, his own child, yeah.
That was a whole ass thing.
Yeah. And there was some Macbeth quoted very, very nicely, might I add.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. It threw me off, but I appreciated it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, real life, I do enjoy Shakespeare quite a bit. So the fact that I was like, ooh, this one could actually, there's like, hey, this one could really, really work. I was like, yes, this is going to happen now. I was like, yeah.
Good call.
Yes.
Good call. And while that was going on, Morgan, would you like to talk about, I do believe you had a conversation with Gwen. Would you like to talk about that?
So, yeah, I had a couple conversations. One with Penny, my assistant, who's apparently significantly older than I am. And Penny was, so initially, well, we'll talk about the false advertising later. That's a storyteller thing. But Penny has some concerns about Morgan taking visitors in the R&D area that's in the sub-basement. And so then he goes up to his penthouse and has his meeting there, trusting his assistant. And at least for now, going to this meeting where the sheriff shows up and is like, hey, we've got a few things going on. There were some bombings lately. There's been some important people missing. I don't really have time to look into it. Why don't you do that for me? And Morgan's like, well, okay, I have an agreement with the prince that I'm going to provide you aid as needed, so this qualifies. Let's go. And as an aside there, Gwen's it may be best for Morgan to not have his herd at his residence, which makes things complicated. And anyhow, that's an aside. That's foreshadowing for another subplot that's ongoing. We'll see how it plays out. So Morgan is like, hey, let's, we don't have an actual time that this Naomi chick is supposed to be by. We don't even know if it's going to be tonight. The sheriff just asked me to do a thing, so let's clear the calendar and go do the thing that the sheriff asked us to do. And so that happens while this conversation with Totally Not Loden is happening as well. And so there's this moment where there's an allegedly armored, and that we'll get to that, SUV is going one way down the highway, and a motorcycle with a couple kindred on it is going the other way, and they see each other. And so then Kyle does a thing.
I started that one.
So Kyle does a thing, then you did a thing, then Kyle did another thing.
So keeping in mind that the reason Kyle and Tommy were heading back was to pick up some stuff to then go head to Gary, Indiana, to go speak with the de facto Baron Anita, to discuss about the actual Baron Juggler, was that the name? And Prince, I can't even read what I wrote down. Prince M.A. something. Mavis? Modius. Wow, I really screwed up the writing on that.
What?
Which I believe was the same information that Morgan...
Did you make yourself chocolate milk anyway?
Yes.
Yes. Which was the same information I believe that Morgan and Melody had gotten from Gwen. So they were headed to Gary. We were headed into Chicago. We're going to pick things up. Kyle saw that, their car, and, there was a brief
hey.
Oh, I lock. And Kyle just flipped a bitch in the middle of the highway.
Yes, with that roll he did, yes.
Sorry about the interruptions there.
You're fine.
And somebody else, who, if they would like to discuss what they did, I'd like to hear it from their own words, please. And while you're doing that, I'm going to be taking another shot.
I did a dumbass. That's what I did. Squirrel rolled down the window and chunked glitter at the motorcycle.
Which then caused somebody to have to do for a frenzy roll.
Yeah. Because every time glitter has happened to Kyle, he has tested for frenzy. The first time he held on in the first game he was in. The second time, oh nay.
Nope.
So he slowed down the bike just enough that he could basically hop off of it without getting hurt. Blinked in front of it and shot the driver. Blinked in front of the limo and shot the driver.
Poor driver.
And the rest of us are like, what the shit just happened?
And Morgan's like, I just paid $100,000 to have that bulletproof. What the shit?
Yeah.
Mistakes were made.
If Morgan had said that, he would be like, boy, I'd go talk to whoever did that job for you, because they fucked you.
So there's Kyle.
The driver arranged it.
So there's Kyle standing in front of this car, gun drawn. There's Tommy on the bike behind the car, like, what the shit? There's Morgan with, I'm assuming, viscera on his face or whatever from the driver, who's getting out of the car, like, what the heck?
And the suit.
And the suit.
$50,000 one-of-a-kind
suit. And then our lovely Sparkle Queen is like, oh, this is bad. Pops into squirrel form and takes off.
Yeah, because and yeah, fortunately, I passed the second check, because the funny thing about a Fury Frenzy is that killing the person that the frenzy has decided is the target doesn't end it.
Well, it's
like you test to make sure. You test to find out if it ends, because if you fail again, it's the beast is saying, nah, new plan, everyone dies.
Oh, yeah, hands down, if that was... I know that at one point Tommy got between you guys and was like, all right, but if things had really started going south, Tommy's gonna be like,
yeah,
fuck out of there.
Hey, new plan.
Bye. So our lovely squirrel takes off while our Ventru and our Toreador square off in the center of the road. Tommy's like, well, I'm gonna go catch the squirrel. You guys deal with this.
Squirrel's running through trees. I roll 7 flipping dice for wits and awareness, okay? I not only roll a 0, the hunger dice comes up with a skull to rub salt in the wound.
Oh.
So I just hopped right into a flipping bag. And I have no fucking clue what's going on.
I like. She's like, do. I'm doing the squirrel thing. I'm doing the squirrel. Nope, not anymore.
So, yep, squirrels in a bag. Mystery bag of wonders. Tommy tries to track the squirrel, doesn't get super far, kind of loses the trail, realizes the squirrel got put in a car or went into a car, not really sure which yet. Then goes back to where Morgan and Kyle were discussing, they had gotten to the point where they were discussing how exactly they were going to clean up this mess. Bringing in both their contacts to take care of it. And Tommy's like, hey guys, we got to find the squirrel. And I think initially there was a little bit of like, oh, do we really have to right now? And then Tommy was like, well, you see, Gwen kind of told me not to let her go certain places or be around certain people, and I've kind of been really bad at that. And now she's just gone.
Yeah, she just went, bye.
So, I think that sort of made the rest of the team be like, well, now we do have to find her. Because we don't want to upset Gwen, because Gwen's our friend.
Uh-huh.
We like Gwen.
Nobody gives a crap if they actually find the squirrel. It's
Look, okay, for the
off
record, I, the player, give a crap if we find the squirrel. If that
Oh
makes
no,
you
I'm
feel
well
any
aware
better,
the only
player
character that cares is Morgan at this point.
Yeah.
That's his job.
Yeah.
He's
Well, now it's
disliked
official.
and he cares about the things that nobody else does. Those two are related.
So, using Kyle's super secret ultra sniffing tracker, we're able to.
It's weird. It's almost like Archons are supposed to be good investigators.
Right? Yeah, it's just so strange. I just imagine he's just like, she went that way, like just no hesitation.
I mean,
we were able to
heightened
get-
senses was involved. That could have basically been what happened.
Yeah, that's how it went down in my head.
Yeah.
And we pretty much figured out which general direction this car, truck, SUV was going. And not only that, but we also learned that the smells surrounding the sparkles were kindred and lupine, which was also like, oh well, that's a red flag. So we hopped in Morgan's new car that his contacts had provided him with, and we started following after them as best we could until we came to an airport that was out, I believe, just to like the slight southwest of Wheaton.
It is actually completely west. Direct
Completely west of Wheaton. Okay. So yeah, we get to that airport and we start seeing a plane take off, and Kyle, with his ultra super smelling sense, is like, haha, the squirrel's on that plane.
The
And
plane's
we're
taking
like,
off. It's like everybody's like,
Problem.
well, the plane's taking off, and Kyle's like, yes, that is a problem. Bang!
And this is where I take another shot.
It's like, bang. That's not going to be a problem much longer.
No, so yeah,
and the plane goes.
Kyle shoots the plane down. He just snipes on the pilot, takes him out.
The squirrel feels something happen to the general vicinity of her.
I sense a disturbance in the force.
Pops into
It
a
could be
polar bear
smelling
because this
brain
sounds
matter
bad.
again.
So
I
now there
tried
is a
to-
now there is a polar bear on the plane.
There's a polar bear floating away from the plane, trying to eat the asshole that was holding it. That didn't work.
Yeah, so it's like,
Yeah, he had a parachute.
yeah, well, the thing was, is once a squirrel wasn't a squirrel anymore, and they were in equal level falling, and this guy's going, fuck you, I'm out.
Yeah, it's like, whoop.
Yep. So the squirrel the polar bear now eventually lands. Kyle manages to find said squirrel bear, while Tommy's like in the car because he's not getting anywhere near a crash plane, and Morgan's like, okay, what do we need to do? Where is everything? Kyle tries to, get our polar bear friend to come back, but the polar bear friend was like, no, you're mad, I'm leaving, and starts to run away.
Part mad, part you're a snack, because at this point I'm at hunger frickin' 4.
Yes, so you were trying not to eat anyone, which, thank you for not trying to eat anyone. Appreciated, greatly appreciated. And while Morgan and Tommy are, like, in the car, our lovely friend Vicky rolls up on her bike, is like, what, this is a thing?
Is this something, is this a constant thing that you're doing now?
Yeah, probably. So we kind of, make a plan. We're going to go look for Kyle and Melody, and then we'll meet Vicky back there, which we didn't. But we wound up finding Kyle. Tommy continues going forward to find Melody, and Morgan, much more keenly on her sense of hunger, just whips out his phone with an extended arm, gives the finger a little blink, and
say hello
says,
to
Melody
my third
Snacky.
arm. Which works, actually.
Yeah, which worked. Which was good. And then,
We all rejoiced.
No, I rolled wits and intelligence, but just be like, okay, he doesn't know what to do, so can he figure it out, given the situation? And I got like three crits on it. So, I got 3 crits and a failure, and I was like, okay, so he knows what to do here. What do you do when an animal is running away? You bring its attention to food that's near you.
yeah. So the squirrel came back. We all get back in the car. The the polar bear turns from polar bear to a person again. There starts to be a little bit of a tense discussion with Kyle basically scolding our squirrel friends, more or less.
Yeah. Reasonably. That's not the only chewing she's getting either, because Olivia's pissed.
Nope. I want to know how that goes. Probably not well.
Not well for the squirrel, no.
Yeah,
That's
no.
gonna be bad.
And Tommy is also like, by the way, Morgan, she's your responsibility now. I don't want to be responsible for that. I'm not responsible enough for this mess.
I wash my hands of this.
Pretty much.
And Morgan's like, God damn it. How am I going to explain planting a tree on the roof of Daily Tower?
Look, it's all about, giving back to the earth. You'll figure it out. You're a smart guy.
The Green Initiative.
Yes, Green Initiative.
Which
You
will
can make
work
it happen.
wonderfully.
It'll work great. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I have every
it'll-
confidence of you.
It'll win points with both the Fae and the Guru.
See, there you go.
Yep. And then we eventually pulled over to meet with Vicky because we forgot that we were supposed to do that, and she'd sort of followed after us. At which point, Tommy went with Vicky to go have a snack and a nap. And I think, was there anything else before we close scene?
No, actually, I can't think of anything.
Morgan told Vicky, hey, I need to know what the hell is being dumped on my plate here.
Yeah.
So, there'll probably be some more conversations.
Penny will just be like,
Oh, Penny, I need you to go stay at Olivia's for a few days.
You want
We
to go
can't-
out?
Well, we need to arrange other... She needs other living arrangements, and until then, she needs supervision. And it can't be kindred for various reasons.
No, don't eat it.
Thank you. I'll bump your pay.
Baby Kindred and Baby Kindred trying to teach Baby Kindred how to be Kindred.
Poor Frank.
I'm just trying to keep her from getting kidnapped again. Last time was a horrible mess.
That's true.
Sorry-ish. What are you doing?
And to think, she doesn't even know that every time she does stuff like this, she is actively hindering Camarilla investigations.
I mean, technically, I don't think any of us
Maybe.
do.
That's fair.
Maybe don't
Did
tell her
Morgan get
that.
that role? Yeah,
You
so
tell her that
technically
this
none of
gets
us.
worse.
Tommy probably has a clue after that last
So
conversation.
I will
Yeah, no.
say, Junie, I was actually going. I didn't want to do it because we were in the middle of doing something and I didn't want to stop the flow. Tommy actually would have I would have asked to have done a roll just to see if anything clicked because it is a little weird his behavior in Tommy's mind.
Whose behavior?
Kyle's,
At the meeting with Loden.
yes,
Sorry,
Sure.
Sir Olaf.
Sir
Do-
Olaf.
Do you
yeah.
want to do a roll right now?
Would you, if you would allow me? I'd love to.
I don't see why not. We've done a whole scene before during this, so
It's true.
I mean,
What? I guess would it be an insight or like?
it being you're watching them right then and there, I could say wisdom insight would be justified.
Okay, I will attempt to rouse my intelligence for that. Let me pull up my character sheet.
Actually, let me check the proofs of my liquors before I just pour all willy-nilly.
Yeah, let's not get overly drunk. That would be
Ask the
great.
hunger.
Not if you're still watching kids. That's a bad time to be overly drunk.
It is. I'm also pouring myself significantly less than I did for that last one.
Okay.
All right.
1, 2.
Oh, that's nice. Crit 6.
Were you at all trying to hide any of your true meanings by were you trying to subterfuge anything, Kyle, in that scene?
Yes. Considering you read a Shakespeare sonnet, yeah, I'd say yes.
It wasn't a sonnet. I just quoted
Well,
Macbeth.
Whatever, but you know what I'm saying. Like you're using that as some sort of like thieves' cant in a way. I would say you're totally trying to hide something.
I mean,
He was just trying to show
I
off.
I knew my audience.
Oh, all right, fair enough.
Well, anything other? Were you trying to do
Um,
anything hidden in that or no?
I mean, it seems weird. It seems really, really, really weird that an anarch is so concerned about putting someone else in as prince.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
You know, like getting rid of the current prince. That tracks.
That makes sense.
That tracks.
Exactly. That was what I was saying. Was like, yes, it would make sense for him to get rid of Jackson, but
Yeah.
then why replace with someone else?
Yeah.
Someone worse.
okay.
From the perspective of an anarch.
Oh yeah, because you rolled high enough in the game to know that Olaf is. There's a non-zero chance Olaf is loaded.
Here's my question
Yes.
for Tommy. Was Tommy ever in the Camarilla Court in London, or was ever a part of the Camarilla Court?
So, if I believe the history correctly, Nosferatu were not very welcomed into the Camarilla Court in that time period in London. I'm not sure about closer to like the mid to late 1800s, but I definitely know before that, not so much.
Right.
So I would, from a historical standpoint, probably not.
Yeah,
Okay.
they generally weren't until like the mid 1900s when
Yeah. And I was
It's a-
already
yeah.
over here at the end of
Yeah.
the 1800s, so.
Were
Okay,
you
yeah.
always did you give any other Camarilla Courts a shot, Or was it just, you know what, I got burnt in London, I'm not going to bother with this anymore?
Yeah, no, Tommy definitely would not have bothered outside of London. He would have just assumed that that's how it was everywhere.
Okay.
So.
I mean, it is how it is in several places. So Tommy's not necessarily wrong, just not uniformly right.
Right.
I would say then, from Tommy's understanding and knowledge, this is not how a normal anarch or any normal independent would have acted.
Okay.
This seems more.
I mean,
This seems far
Kyle
more
has advertised
formal.
himself. Kyle's advertised himself as an anarch.
Right.
This is a bit more formal than what you've seen before.
Gotcha. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I'll, warranted Tommy's suspicion, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tommy's starting to get pieces of the puzzle.
yeah.
Not enough to really put it all together, but it's like that was weird, and that was sus. And I don't know if anybody can say anything to make that not sus.
And I'm just gonna be candid with you as a player.
Mhm.
On the other hand, having you shoot down a plane, that is also not like Cam. So I'm not saying that that's where Tommy's mind is going.
Yeah.
Just that is where Tommy's mind is going. And in case you don't know what we're currently dealing with around here, that is where Tommy's mind is. So just a little heads up for that.
I mean,
Oh, that's totally valid.
If he does activities and it gets blamed on other sects,
Which, and you know what, to
That-
be fair,
it's a-
if that's how it turns out, and, Kyle seems very, okay with that, then Tommy might be like, oh, maybe he's nuts about it. You know what I mean? That's, yeah. Yeah, you're a weird one in his opinion.
I mean, who in the guild
fair.
crew? Who isn't so far?
Technically, the only not weird one to Tommy is Morgan, because he's a Ventru, and he's exactly Ventru.
I mean,
Okay.
he is very Ventru.
he's really exactingly Ventru.
Yeah.
I mean, if there couldn't be any more Ventru, it would be textbook. There's Morgan's face.
Right? Next to Ventru in the dictionary, Morgan Daly.
No. Morgan's name wouldn't be next to the Ventru entry, because it would be on the title page, because he bought the company that made the dictionary.
You're right.
There you go.
And then he would have written the afterwards. The
What do I
forward.
need to roll to do? Hang on. This is resources and persuasion.
No, this would be manipulation, persuasion. No. Oh wait, do we still have charisma?
Boom.
Charisma and persuasion, and add your resources to it.
Is
Okay.
he rolling 1,000 dice?
I mean, you're not wrong.
Let's see.
Don't have that many in the house. That would take a few rolls.
Oh damn! Hold on. Damn.
All right. Hang on. So there's one. Burning of willpower.
And this was how Morgan Daly took control of Webster's.
I mean, yeah.
It's now called Daly's.
Wizards of the Coast. Dailies of the Coast now.
Dailies of the Coast.
How about a flat 9?
Wizards of the Daily.
Yep, there you go. About a 9. Yeah, I'd say you would have bought that publishing company
Good lord.
if there was one in existence.
Merriam-Webster Daily.
Yeah.
Yep.
Poor Miriam.
Alright, well now that it's canon that he owns the dictionary. Maybe those boots will start to come in handy now, Yeah, what if I trade in three medium boons? Can you change the word asshole to just have Frank's picture next to it?
I mean, you're not wrong.
We could do that. So maybe a limited edition collector's set. Leather bound, Yeah, we could totally do like a dictionary for kindred with a picture of Frank in it under the entry for asshole.
Nice.
Can you tank?
So hold
please?
on. Are you saying you're going to make your own version of the Encyclopedia of Empirica? Oh
Yeah.
no, y'all don't even know that's actually a thing, do you?
Well, now I do. Now we'll have to get one.
Hold on, I'm
What?
looking.
Like, give me like 1 minute, maybe 90 seconds.
Okay. One.
Well, he's gonna take more than 90 seconds. He's
The guru.
yeah.
Ugh.
It's one of those days.
There's an uprising. It's just a thing.
As a guru do once upon a time. It's okay.
Yeah.
We understand our guru uprise.
Correct. It is a thing.
Yesterday was quite an interesting session.
Yes, it was. I mean, I can't say pocket glitter enough.
All the glitter.
It was.
All that glitters is gold sometimes.
You're not wrong. Now, if we only knew Mr. Gold, that would actually be far more appropriate.
Yeah. True.
Look,
We are looking.
Did we find it?
I don't know.
Oh, we did find it. Oh, look at that. Very nice.
Okay.
The book.
I've got a lot of the various lore books
So I
because this exists in the actual game world.
Very cool. I'll have to pick it up.
Yeah.
so now he's bought a publishing company now to remake said book.
Very
Oh.
cool.
I mean, out of character, I'm for this. I'm for it. Nothing can possibly go wrong. In character, I'm going to shoot you until there's nothing left to shoot.
I mean,
He can't hear
And
you.
in character, Tommy's pretty okay with.
I mean, because like,
You're gonna have to repeat that. He's parenting right now.
That's why I said it.
you know,
all right.
to give you an idea of just how much of a breach this book is. In the first on the very first page of the K section, Karsh, member of the Beast Clan, little is known about this warrior's origin and sire, as he doesn't speak about them, but still one can easily find enough to say about this extraordinary member of the Gangrel. I am one sentence in, and we're already 3 breaches through.
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, sounds about right.
this is
So-
accurate.
While we're waiting for D-Raiden to get back, and I'll ask him this question when he comes back. What are we thinking for goals? Where are our heads at?
Not to mention, this is where also Kyle can come in because he can give off goals now too.
I'm back.
Welcome back. I
Yeah.
was asking
Thank
about
you.
goals.
Oh,
But you were gone when I.
okay. Cool.
This is a book that exists in the real world, and they were all, "Hey, he's going to make his own." And I'm like, in character, this is a great idea. As out of character, I love it. Nothing that can go wrong with this. In character, if you do it, I will shoot you until there's nothing left to shoot.
Well, you don't offer it publicly where the normies can get it. Jesus.
I mean, valid.
Oh, just a little bit further in the K section. Let's see how many breaches I can find in a single sentence in this entry. Kiasid! like, that's just the name of the entry. I haven't even started the sentence.
Well, there's
The
one.
whole thing's a breach. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say all of it. All of it's a breach.
3 Kiasid's a breach.
Yeah. This bloodline is suspected to be a result of a failed experiment of Clan La Sombra. That's the end of that
was
sentence.
Not deliberate.
That's 4.
Yeah. Like, how breachy is this book?
It's pretty breachy.
So breachy.
But I still want it
It's a-
anyway.
Yeah, no, it's great. I love it. I'm fairly certain I've used it as a prop in at least one table game.
Yeah.
Because it does exist in the game world.
Yeah.
So, goals.
Yep. What you thinking? What's Morgan thinking?
So, actually, Junie, before we go there, I had sent you a document today. Have you had a chance to look it over?
I was in a game today and then came right to here. Look over
So no,
what?
that's fine. That's fine.
Give me a minute.
So, I took a stab at writing out the agreement that Morgan has with Jackson as a proclamation from Jackson. So Morgan is beginning to have doubts that that's going to be upheld. One, there's been a lot of shit that's happened under Jackson's watch, and this is the sort of thing that tends to get officials removed. And the next person is likely going to be looking for ways to differentiate themselves from Jackson. Which means that chances are good that they're not going to want to do the things that Jackson did or uphold the deals that he agreed to or anything like that. Which is a problem because Morgan is a special snowflake with special dietary restrictions, and if this deal isn't upheld, then there goes Morgan's herd. And that's a problem because Morgan likes to eat. So he's going to be looking at getting his herd and maybe even himself somewhere to go outside of Chicago. And add to that the whole thing with Olivia.
Melody.
Yeah. Well, both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sorry.
yeah. So, he's probably going to be looking for an alternate haven, or maybe to use his country residence and get some mirrors set up so that he can go back and forth between Daily Tower and his country residence. And he's looking to get his herd out while the getting's good. He's not going to renege on any of his agreements or obligations. He's going to continue to uphold all of that, but he's not risking his herd in an area where there have been bombings and attacks and the leadership might be changing, and some other members of the leaders group have been kind of hinting that future leadership of that group is not likely to agree to the same terms. So there's also actually Junie. There's another thing that might be pertinent to Morgan's situation. So last season, he was put under some compulsions that he does not have the dice pool to break, like even if he rolls perfectly. So there's been some pressure on him to pick a side, and given the directive that he's under, I'm not sure that he physically can pick a side.
Well, the thing is that with a compulsion, he hasn't picked a side because he hasn't been able to do it yet. The moment he actually says, you know what, I am for this, the compulsion ends. So
Which compulsion are you talking about?
The one where he has to stay neutral in the neutrality of things?
So, William, in trying to fix some of the stuff that Stanislaw had done to him, William put, I know it was Submerged Directive, I believe it was also Terminal Decree, that he is to be his own man and forge his own way.
I didn't remember the Terminal Decree.
So he cannot. He must forge his own way. He cannot just fall into line until he can beat like a 14 crit.
That's not necessarily true.
Okay.
Think about it from a line of, what if Morgan? What do you think Morgan's ultimate overall goal is? Does he want power?
Probably independence. He wants to not be shuffled to the bottom of whatever totem pole he winds up on.
Okay, but what if he could get to the top of the totem pole?
Okay.
So wouldn't that be being your own man?
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Realistically, is that going to happen?
I don't know, but but if you're talking about wanting to break the compulsion in that manner, then the only reason that you would be not being your own man is to ultimately be your own man. Like, that would be your underarching motive there. So you wouldn't be going against the compulsion.
Well, and I don't know what level of leeway he would have with like a 14 crit, dominate, terminal decree, submerged directive.
If only he used his desires, or his, his desires in the sheet to be like, let's inch our way up to this.
Yeah.
Maybe. And that's why, he's doing his best to play ball with the Camarilla, because that's who's in power, where the tower with his name on it is. So he's not like actively trying to not fall into line. He's trying to like kind of walk that knife's edge.
All
Whether
right.
or not it'll work, we'll see.
For you, Deeberton, you've got, so the extended sheet, you've got his freedom and independence is his ambition. What's his desire? Ambitions are the, Rob, correct me if I'm wrong. Ambitions are the long-term goal, desires are the short-term goal, correct? So, if your freedom and independence is your long-term goal, your desire is a short-term goal. So, let's go with Tommy.
So Tommy's one and only real goal for this week is going to be following up on that lead that we heard about from Sir Olaf. Not the one to Gary, because he thinks it would be better to go with at least Kyle, if not Kyle Morgan.
No, I was actually going in to see what your desire and your ambition are.
Oh, for me?
Your ambition is survival, but what's your desire?
That's a great question. Sorry.
Because
I thought we were moving on to goals. My bad.
No, but I'm trying to explain a point. That you can further...
I don't know if I ever wrote one down.
No, you did not. That's why I'm asking. Let's see what Tanari's was.
You said desires. You said desires are short term, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll think about it.
I have to gain new ones. Okay.
Let's see what Melody had.
Melodies are...
Okay, so she doesn't have an ambition, so we're going to have to make her have a long-term ambition. But her desire at the moment is to sparkle. And bitch, she sparkles every day. That desire's already met. So now she picks a new desire.
Good standing with the locals will be something that Morgan is trying for.
Is that a desire?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whether or not that's a pipe, that's honestly probably a pipe dream at this point. But he's gonna try.
Okay. So, go on with goals then. I apologize for interrupting. I just wanted to kind of explain that fact for you guys.
No, that's okay. I honestly, it's not even like on my sheet, so I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yes, it's a thing.
So Morgan, what other goals did you have?
Of course, he's gonna try and find the people that Gwen asked him to find. And he's also gonna be... honestly, that's probably enough. That's probably a couple weeks worth of goals already. He's also gonna be continuing to try to find a way for everybody to not get eaten if an antediluvian wakes up. And he thinks that if he gets the right mix of Tremere fuckery and mage fuckery and thin blood fuckery, that might be something that they can come up with working together.
Okay. Melody. Are you guruing?
I am slightly grueling. I'm making sure they get their snack. Melody's goal this week is probably going to be to survive getting in trouble. Like it's more Olivia's goals than Melody's at this point because Melody's about to be on fucking lockdown. She's in trouble. She's in a lot of trouble. She is going to want to find out though why somebody would snatch her like that. Because Melody has no idea. Olivia's got probably a clue, and if I'm allowed to roll goals on Olivia, she's going to find out. Like, period.
If you want to bring Olivia in for a session to do something like that, I would allow it. We've let William do it.
If that happens, Morgan will also be suggesting a tune-up similar to what he got.
It might be more of a like Melody just needs a bit of a come to Jesus meeting, as it were, about the fact that she's not like the regular vampires, and Olivia would not have considered that before releasing her to the wild, but now she's kind of got to. So that might be what happens, is while Melody's sulking in a tree somewhere.
I mean, that makes sense.
That's fair. Kyle. Goals.
Well, we're heading to Gary, and we just found out that Juggler and Modius are missing. Let's figure out what's going on with that. Kyle wants to find Modius. He's not really that concerned about Juggler, if I'm being honest. He wants to find Modius.
I mean, this is fair.
Okay. And then Tommy's would just be meet up with my god, I just forgot his frickin' name again. Waneka.
There you go.
To follow up on the other half, because Tommy doesn't feel comfortable going to Gary by himself. So yeah. So it sounds like we've got some solid goals, got a lot of work to do between now and next week.
This will be fun and overly exciting. And I just sent you all a PM, so you know what happens when you fulfill desires. I had Rob happily type that out for me so I could send it to you all. Thank you, Rob.
Cool, thank you.
So you all know all the fun things that you guys can get on top of what you can do to fulfill desires, because we all want that, now don't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because everybody's scared of getting into aggravated willpower damage, right? Because that sucks to get rid of. You don't recover it between sessions. But if you have good measurable ambitions, every time you measurably work towards your ambition, you recover 1 aggravated willpower damage. There's mechanical benefits to working towards your ambitions. They aren't just something that helps steer your roleplay a little bit. There's mechanical benefits to working towards your ambitions and to achieving your desires.
So Melody may just need to acquire an ambition this week.
You need to acquire an ambition, which is your long-term goal. You have fulfilled a desire.
Yeah. And
there you go. That's what happens when you fulfill.
Just to head it off, survive is not an ambition. That is a requirement for being a player character.
Oh, I thought it was in the book. That's why I picked it.
Oh, for Olivia, that was absolutely an ambition for the first
Yeah.
half of the season.
I'm like
Yeah, no, because-
50% sure I wrote it down because it was in the book, and I was like, oh, well, if it can be that simple, then I'll just use that.
Olivia started life as a vampire as a UPS box. Survive was definitely the ambition for a while.
I mean, I know that would make. I get what you're saying. Like that makes sense from a. I just
Yeah.
was going off what the book was telling me. So
Well, I think
Yeah,
it's more of now that we're
I
understanding
mean,
a bit more.
to be fair, if Junie says survive is okay, then it's okay. But I think I personally think characters are more interesting when they have goals beyond. If I can goals when you beyond I'm a vampire and I want to go be able to get to the day sleep and then wake up the next sunset.
Well, I was looking at it as those are more desires than they were actually ambitions, so it was actually something that they could achieve. And definitely for Olivia, being she was a 3-day-old gangrel,
Yeah.
that was literally a desire was to survive.
okay, so I might have to do a lot of reworking on Tommy then because that's like 90% of his personality is just trying not to do things that can get him killed.
But you are a survivalist, which is understandable.
I mean, like working to making sure you survive is A, it's human nature, and B, it's something that the Beast is pretty on board with too, because it's not a very big fan of the thing it lives in getting destroyed.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
that-
I
that's
get
what-
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like that.
Can't
That's
destroy
why
shit if
frenzies
you're
are
dead.
things, because when a frenzy happens, that is the Beast saying, "Nah, I'm taking over because I don't like what's going on, so I'm going to try to make sure we survive it."
Gotcha.
And the only reason why I'm starting to slowly bring out other mechanics within the book is we're actually learning more about it. And I didn't want to turn around and like dump truck things all into you. Like I will eventually be bringing in critical tenets, so stains will be even more of a factor for people. So,
Yeah.
but I'm not bringing it in just this second. So,
Hey.
But the more I'm learning, the more you guys are learning, and I am working ever towards learning the entire book. It's just the RAM in the brain is only so much. So I apologize. But you guys are all doing wonderfully and amazing.
All right. So, do we have any final notes to add before we go off?
Chaos. Lots of chaos. Anything else anyone wants to say?
Ain't dead yet.
If you watch this whole episode, thank you for being so fucking dope.
Yeah.
There's no way that this will go poorly for Morgan Daly.
If
No,
you
no.
didn't watch the VOD yesterday, if you only watch one of the VODs straight through, yesterday was the one you want popcorn for.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I'm like, really? How much more insanity and craziness are we gonna have? Oh, never mind.
Don't ask! Rono wasn't here.
This is fair. I mean, at least I don't have two of you people deciding, oh, we're gonna constantly do a competition of who can out premonition the other person, and then both of them run to a tree where one person pops premonition and the other person pops premonition on the person that's popping premonition about the tree.
Yeah, I purposely decided not to go that premonition route this season.
Because I went, oh,
I
fuck
was like,
my
nah,
life in a
let's
hand
not do that again.
I mean, it could have been significantly worse. You could have taken the X lore sheet.
No. We had Rono.
Why would you
When he went to go meet the
premonition on a
prince.
tree?
Because they saw claw marks and they thought, ooh, let's prop premonition. Hey, at least in this one, Rono did not do a 7 success premonition on the prince when they first met them.
That sounds
Yeah.
like a headache.
I mean, that sounds like the sort of thing you wake up from on a dinner table.
Yeah.
I mean, the X lore sheet though, because that was interesting. It's one of the 10 LA by Night lore sheets. It has a 4-dot option, signs importance. If you don't have premonition, you have premonition. If you do have premonition, you do not rouse check for premonition.
Yeah, that's actually pretty
That
cool.
sounds dope.
Yeah. It is 110%.
All right. Well, if we are good for the day, then we will catch you all next week, Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard.
Yeah.
Remember, y'all have a seat at the table. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.